Alright guys, last but not least, let's take a look at this climate change here. Okay, so some objectives here obviously are to look at climate change and how that's affecting us right now. So the first thing I want you to do is another blog post here. So you're going to go to your blog page on your Weebly site, create a new blog post. You can title it See, Think, Wonder. And what I want you to do is just create 3 different headings, one See, one Think, and one Wonder. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the 2 images below here, and you're going to use them to make some predictions and get you thinking about climate change and global warming. So on this page, again, you can actually click on the images and it will enlarge the images so that you have an idea, better idea of what you're looking at. There's some political comments in here, which is to be expected with climate change. And again, you can click on this one, read the comics and get an understanding of kind of what's going on in those. Then what I want you to do is in your blog post under the See heading, I want you to simply describe what do you see and what you're observing in each of the images. So for example, in the image on the left, you might want to talk about how there's a frog in what looks like a pot and he's just kind of hanging out. It looks like there's something heating it from below, and it mentions oil, gas, coal, auto, and industries. You'll see that there's couple birds on the side here. You could describe anything like that. Okay, same for the second image. It looks like there's a presentation going on, some data being presented, and some people watching. It says that it's the climate summit, so you could talk about that. And then for the second heading, for think, you want to talk about what, based on what you see, what is happening in the image. So for example, we have a frog boiling in a pot. It looks like there's some skeptics on the side here. It says at the top of this image that a frog placed in water that is brought to a boil through gradual temperature increase will make no attempt to escape. So it's just kind of hanging out in this nice hot tub there. What do you think is happening in the image? Well, you can talk about how you know, on a yearly basis there's maybe a climate summit, anything like that. And then some things that you might wonder are questions that you have about the images. So for example, what is this frog in the pot representing? All right, that could be something that you wonder. And you can even expand on what you think it might be representing, okay? So you're going to do that, See, Think, Wonder. I want you to have a few sentences at least for each heading just to describe in enough detail what you see, think, and wonder about both of these images combined, okay? So you don't need to do a blog post for both images separately. You can use them both and kind of create one succinct response. So that's the first goal for the climate change. The second one is kind of a current events type dealio here. So the first thing I want you to do is read this article on the effects of global warming. This just gives you a little idea of what's going on in our Earth right now due to global warming. So you can just take a quick read through this, get an idea of how climate change is affecting us and how global warming is affecting us. And then what I want you to do is, along with reading this article, I want you to read one of the following articles that I've linked here below. So not all of them, just choose one and just discuss it in your climate change webpage. So not in your blog this time. This time you're going to summarize this effects article here. You're going to summarize this article, and then you're going to choose one of the articles that I've linked and summarize that as well. And just make sure you consider who, what, when, where, why, and how when you're summarizing these so that we understand what's going on. So you can just check one of these out, give a good description of what's happening in it, and so we can see any current events on climate change. The third thing I want you to do is calculate your ecological footprint. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to go onto this website, okay, this is Global Footprint Network, okay, .org. That's a good way to tell if a website is legitimate, if it's a .org website, so you'll see that there. And what I want you to do is each of you will calculate your ecological footprint. So if you're in a group of 2, you'll both post your ecological footprint. what you're going to do is you're going to select the city closest to you. Now for all of this should be Calgary. So we're just going to choose Calgary, and you're going to choose the kids version. This is simply just because I'm guessing a lot of you don't know your power bills and things like that that your parents pay. So we will go to the kids version because it answers, you're more able to answer these questions. Please click on the detailed version here, so that you get more data and are able to answer the questions, and it will give you a better idea of what your ecological footprint is. I'm just going to click randomly generate for my character, my avatar, to represent me through the quiz. If you want to take time to do this, that's fine. Please don't waste a ton of time doing that though. It's not super relevant. So you click OK to continue here. And it's going to ask you a variety of different questions. So go through, answer the questions, and once you're done, I would like you to save your image. The way you're going to save that is you're going to print the image, and when you print, you should be able to save it onto your Google Drive. If you can just save the image as well. Once you've saved the image, you're going to upload it onto your climate change webpage, and just identify, for example, if I'm the person that I belong to that ecological footprint, I'm going to say Miss Anderson's footprint on the web page. Then I'm going to look and I'm going to consider the way that I've answered these questions, and I'm going to think about one way that I can reduce my ecological footprint. So for example, maybe I am going to carpool more frequently driving into work because I drive such a distance. Okay, so that's one way that I can reduce my footprint, and then I'm going to type that up and mention that in my climate change webpage below my ecological footprint. All right, and then what I want you to do is find some resources online about what international efforts are being done to reduce and mitigate global warming and climate change. So mitigate just means to get control of and to reduce as well. So you're going to look at that, and I want you to find just a few sources, one or two, that are legitimate sources, and I want you to hyperlink them to your climate change webpage. So I know that there's, for example, I'll go to Google here, and I know there's something called the International Panel on Climate Change. It pops up here. All right, and there's a bunch of articles here on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and I can maybe go on this website, check out a few of their resources, look at some of their resources that they've linked, and then I'll decide, okay, I'm going to hyperlink this onto my web page. Again, if you're not sure how to hyperlink, you should just be able to copy the URL. So again, you can just Control-C or right-click and then copy that. And you will go back to your Weebly site. And what you're going to do is, if you want to hyperlink something, you'll simply just highlight the word that you want to hyperlink, click the little link or create link icon, and then you should be able to just paste in the URL that you've linked here, and you can choose to open it in a new window. That's completely up to you. And then once you've highlighted that, it should be, and say save, it should be linked to that word. Okay, that's what I've done for these articles here, is I've hyperlinked them to a specific page. All right, I'm hoping that we can get all of this done by Friday. This means that you may need to get some work done on the weekend, okay? I will be marking these on January 28th, so make sure that you're working effectively to get this done. I'll give you some time to discuss any questions with me. If you have major concerns or any questions, please make sure you email me so I know in advance before I get back on Monday. Good luck, and talk to you later.